of narcoleptic disorders off the chart now, because once the brain gets trained to go into a sleep phase, it'll start sinking deeper. Got to stop watching television, folks, especially. Because even if you're watching a good show, there can be a carrier wave over it. I am 100% banning my children from even documentaries and computers now. I have to. I have to go and do it. It's that bad. This is a total globalist revolution against humanity. And here's the epiphany I had. I was driving into work this morning on a highway, and people now just slam their brakes on. People are driving 70 miles an hour, 65, 70. They slam their brakes on in front of you now to make a turn with no concern for themselves or you. See, that's what Prozac does in runoff in frogs and other amphibians, fish, and crustaceans, and things like shrimp. You can look at the big studies that just the Prozac runoff in the water, that they're committing suicide. They just swim right up to fish. Birds are flying right into windows more and more. There's big articles about pedestrians all over the place who are suddenly walking out into traffic. People are suddenly just falling off their bicycles everywhere. Bicycles now, I see it all the time, just pull right out into 70-mile-an-hour traffic down interstate highways. Just totally insane, no connection to reality. Fatalities are off the chart. And I call Watson and I go, I got cars slamming their brakes on in front of me. People are texting all around me while they're driving. I'm looking at people, they look like zombies. He goes, I know, I'm seeing it myself. And I hang the phone up, and right as I get on 290, I'm going to tell you about when we come back and then go to Watson. This woman, I look at her driving erratically. I'm going to tell you about this when we get back. She literally was sleep driving. And you're about to see this get a lot worse. Hello, I'm Alex. Not that people just aren't paying attention and walking into fountains, walking into cars. I was just looking at the statistics during the break. Off the charts in the Western world. Increase in pedestrian fatalities. I was driving down Southwest Parkway one day and came up over a hill. I was going about 65 miles an hour. And it's also part of a reality-denying arrogance. A bunch of 10-speed riding, bike riders were actually out in the road. Not on the shoulder. They wanted to be in the road like it's theirs. And I narrowly got out of the lane, even though there was a car behind me, slammed my brakes on, and shot behind the other car. And they're getting killed every day, every hour. I mean, the numbers are just hundreds of bike riders getting plowed a week. And again, pedestrians walking out in front of cars. This is a phenomenon that's admitted. But it's more than just getting mesmerized by texting while you're driving. It's that the computer screen, once you become synced with it, there's different studies on the average computer screen or television, depending on the flicker rate. It might take 45 minutes the first time to go into a mesmerized state and lower your brain waves and go into a sleep state. But once you've done it, it can take seconds. You ever notice children, when they see a television on, suddenly you can't get their attention even if firecrackers were going off in the room? This is what we're talking about. And this is on record. I was let into the University of Texas Psychology Department now 10 years ago by one of the top people who will remain nameless and is no longer there, has moved on to another facility, even more elite. And I was shown stuff, all of it was DARPA funded. Every, or Department of Defense, same thing. And the whole place was giant multi-million-dollar labs on how to have subliminals to make women sexually aroused when they watch a commercial, or how to have retina trackers when you're in a store shopping following your eye, or how to face scan you when you enter a bar, and they would tell you how many men were in a bar versus women. Now those apps are being rolled out on the streets. And just all studying every little facet. And monkeys chained down with wires in their brains. These were TVs. I could see, the monkeys out at the base outside Austin, just with flicker rate patterns hitting them, testing brainwaves. Just huge facilities just full of monkeys with the tops of their skulls cut off with wires wired in. I mean, all on how to savagely take control of your mind. And you now go into stores, you talk to people, they are under like an Arrested Development the program they've been downloaded with is like a happy, goofy kind of Sesame Street for teenagers or adults. And then this morning, I'm going to go to Watson here in a moment, I was doing more research on Coney 2012 just because it's a modern Pentagon globalist psyop for war, and it's adults talking to adults, college students and high schoolers, going, hi, ooh, friendly, nicey, literally hopping around going, have a screening in your area, it's not threatening, call, it's nice, it's fun. All these pink colors, green colors, you know, happy, talking to people like they're 5-year-olds. Or really 3-year-olds. And that's what the New World Order, NPR voice, all of it is. And to watch these government operatives with a sinister gleam in their eye, they can't hide that because my subconscious supercomputer's on. I'm like seeing every bit of it. I'm like, wow, man, they know it. It's a giant army of technicians. And then I see the results. But here's what's happening. 9 out of 10 reactors worldwide, 400 plus, are leaking radiation. Government just raises the level of radiation, what they say safe. Everything's starting to fall apart. Corruption's going wild. The globalists have gone crazy. They've been drinking the Kool-Aid as well. And I'm here to tell you, society is going to go completely insane. Undoubtedly, wars have already begun. Proxy wars in Iran have begun like we said they would, and it's now admitted. Proxy wars in Libya, Syria, Uganda, mass murder. I mean, it's admitted the UN is just murdering people in mass, but it doesn't matter. They have guys in pink and green, you know, trendy plaid shirts dancing around saying it's loving. And so you talk to the public and they giggle back at you with this self-satisfied look. The program, the conditioning they've been given is similar to of a 3-year-old is throwing a fit, and you go, you know, if it's a girl, you're a princess, let's dress up like a princess. They go, princess. It's that make-believe thing that's normal for small children to develop different roles in their mind, but for adults. So it's literally a child program that they're running in adults out there, and the cops are following a tough guy program, and they're all about following programming, and I'm seeing it. And now the programming, the public is in such a sleep state, they are walking out in front of traffic. Their bikes are driving out. People are texting while driving. I'm going to talk to Watson about this when we get back, but I'm telling you, something big's about to happen. The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around. What do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it. And I would add, still others, even upon learning the truth, will decide through fear to try to join with the system. Those are the people that are willfully ignorant. I can't tell you how many media executives, how many people, when I tell them I don't want to be part of their system, they cannot believe it. I remember last year, New York Magazine had a quote by a Fox News executive saying, Alex Jones wants to be on Fox, but we don't want Alex Jones, and implied I tried to get on Fox News. You know what? I just told Fox that I don't want to be part of Fox TV shows. You've heard Mancow on air say that, you know, he wanted me and Breitbart to be on a show with him, and he's going to have his show. And, you know, I've said that I'm certainly not going to fly there and be part of it. I mean, I could go on a show and say whatever I want if it was live off satellite, but it's like I'm not seeking after that. I'm not going to make a break with the system by being part of it. I mean, I'm tempted to quit this radio show and TV and everything and do one video a week just breaking down the Matrix, because that's all that matters now. Covering little side issues, a little piece here, a little piece there, that isn't what matters. Let me explain something. Pediatric cancer from the 1940s is up over 20,000%. Go look up those rates. 20,000%. Your average cancer is up by 2,000% since the late 40s, early 50s. Go look it up. Breast cancer in the United States is exploding thousands of percentile and is the worst in the world. And then I have all the documents where they said they would do this to us. They are killing us. They are killing our women. And let me tell you something. I can't be around network TV executives in their suits and prancing around trying to show off. It makes me want to throw up. I see police now pulling over and searching people's cars. I want to pull over and laugh at them. Oh, you're going to search somebody's cars for drugs when it's on record the criminals that run this government ship the drugs in. Rare cancers are exploding. Things that were once rare are now extremely common. None of this window dressing matters. Do you get it? None of it matters. None of it. We have a scientific elite that decided to have a total takeover of the entire biosphere of the planet and to wreck it, in their own words, so that they could patent it all. And when you can't have children because of the heavy metals and the GMO and all the manipulation, they say in the 30s that you would have to come to them to get genetic repair so that you could have children. But then when you do that, they're going to go in and alter it to make sure you're not aggressive or bad or removing traits that they say are a problem. Now, expanding on all of this, there's a 3,000-year-old symbol for medicine, and it's two snakes intertwined with a staff in the middle. They were writing about atomic bombs in 1900, H.G. Wells and others. They were writing about DNA in the 20s, decades before it was discovered. There is an advanced technological civilization in the laboratory, that is beta tested and then rolled out to the public. I don't know how advanced the enemy is, but in general terms, they're 30 years advanced. And you think of 30 years advanced, that means AI computers. I know in the late 70s, they already had robot drones with DU Shabo meteor guns. I have that from the former director of Star Wars on this show, Dr. Bob Bowman, Colonel Bowman. Imagine what else is out there. They had space planes ready to decapitate all world leaders in 1 hour in the late 1970s. The only hope we've got is realizing that we are in a false reality. That's the only hope we've got. I am thrilled when I reach millions of people every day, but I'm also disgusted when I realize I have this giant platform that's growing and I'm not imparting the true knowledge properly to people. And the answer to this is those of you that have good minds as well, you need to really get bold and speak out, because I'm going to tell you, this is all accelerating. Technology is now doubling every year, not every 2 years. Soon it's going to be every month, then every week, then every day, then every hour, then every minute. The globalists have shown themselves, even with advanced technology, they're still just humans, and they're wicked, which means they have blind spots for empathy and understanding. Because being able to carry something out doesn't mean you have wisdom. They have computers supposedly thinking 100 steps ahead for them. And they have idiot savants that do that as well. But I don't think they're integrating all that data. And I know from the evidence I've seen, they're endangering themselves. No amount of underground bases, no amount of off-world space stations, no amount of high-tech garbage is going to protect you guys from what you've turned loose. You are collectively crazy. I have accessed my common sense, my ancestral genetic memories. I have accessed the full spectrum data analysis. Anybody can do this.